Door sensors are incredibly handy sensors that I use for all kinds of things in my smart home. These Zigbee ones are cheap, the batteries last forever, and they can be used for a lot more than just doors. In my quest to build the perfect smart home, I want to know the state of every door and window to help build more powerful automations. But I don't want these sensors stuck on everything in the house like all the manufacturers seem to intend. So, with the power of 3D printing, I'm turning these cheap Aqara T1 sensors into invisible door sensors. And you can do the same. Door sensors are a great way to add functionality to your smart home without spending a bucket. I'm using them for a bunch of things here in the house. I have one on the nursery door that will turn on the lamp just enough to see so we can check in on the baby at night, and another on our baby wipe container so we can have the lamp brightness increase when we need to see a little more to change a nappy. There's another one on our back door that turns the festoon lights on under the pergola when we open the door at night too. I'm using the Aqara T1 sensors. Why? They're like $8. For real though, I'm using these because they support Zigbee. The batteries last forever and they're cheap and easy to get a hold of. They're also tiny little things. And they get even more affordable if you buy them in bulk from AliExpress or one of the other usual suspects. Most door sensors work the same way, using an electronic component called a reed switch. What is a reed switch? I'm glad you asked. A reed switch is a tiny glass tube filled with inert gas with two contacts inside. These contacts are made of a ferromagnetic material, though sometimes only one is, doesn't matter, they work the same. And in most cases, in their resting state are what's called normally open. This just means that the two contacts aren't touching and won't conduct any electricity from one end of the glass tube to the other. When a magnetic field gets close to the glass tube, like, a magnet, the contacts are pushed or pulled together, making contact and conducting electricity. Essentially, it's a switch that's flipped by a magnet. We can then use this to tell our smart home whether there is a magnetic field near our sensor. And if we attach a magnet to the door frame and our sensor to the door with the reed switch, or the opposite way around, we can determine whether a door is open or closed based on whether there's a magnet present or not. If we take apart one of these Aqara T1 door sensors, you can see the little glass reed switch on one side of this tiny PCB. And if we take apart the other half of the sensor, you'll find a neodymium magnet inside. That's it. They're really quite simple. All they're telling you is there a magnet there or not? You might assume that this means my quest to know the state of every door in my home is already over, right? Just throw one of these sensors on every door and we're done. Wrong. But before I tell you why, a quick word from this project sponsor, PCBWay. As much as I'd love to have a full-blown CNC machine shop here in my garage, it's just not realistic. The cost of the machines, the space they take up, and setup time just doesn't make sense for the handful of parts I might need to make each year. But when I do need something that's outside the realm of my hand tools and 3D printers, I rely on PCBWay to fill that capability gap for me. PCBWay offers CNC machining, PCB manufacturing, 3D printing, sheet metal work, and even things like injection molding. Basically, all the stuff you'd want access to without having to buy industrial grade machines yourself. I've used them for everything from simple brackets to precision parts to custom PCBs for my own projects, and the quality has been consistently excellent. You upload your files, choose your materials and tolerances, and a few days later, the parts just show up. No drama. If you're a maker, engineer, or DIYer who occasionally needs real manufacturing capability without the overhead, PCBWay is honestly one of the easiest ways to get there. A huge thanks to PCBWay for supporting the channel and for letting me build projects that would otherwise be way out of reach. Now, back to my door sensor dilemma. If you want to know why I can't just stick these sensors on every door in my house like a regular person, then go check this video out. If you don't have time, the long and the short of it is that I'm doing my smart home properly. I don't want visible sensors stuck to my wall looking all tacky and messy. I want my home to be smart, but I don't want it to look like it's been slapped together. And the couple of door sensors I've temporarily installed are exactly what I don't want. For the purposes of our door sensors, this means I need to find a way to conceal these things entirely. The good news is, this is kind of a solved problem. One of the first smart home devices I ever purchased for my house was a door sensor for our front door. I ordered it before we'd even finalized the purchase of the place. This is AOTech's Recessed Door Sensor 7. It's a Z-Wave based sensor that can be installed inside your door with a corresponding magnet in the door frame. It's nice and compact, and it's awful. Awful. The battery didn't last. It uses a strange battery size that's difficult to find and expensive. It uses these strange, long, fine-threaded wood screws to mount it for some reason, and it constantly disconnected. And it cost me $100 Australian. The only thing I liked about it was the form factor, which allowed it to be hidden inside the door entirely out of sight. And I'm not the only person that experienced these issues too. A quick search on Reddit shows up dozens of people with the same issues. It's designed to fit into a 20mm hole drilled in the top of your door, and after taking apart one of my Aqara sensors, I realized it may be possible to fit the tiny, reliable and cheap Aqara PCB inside the same 20mm tube footprint. Now, it will only fit inside the 20mm footprint if it's turned 90 degrees from where you typically have it, so I had to check if the magnet would work from the short end of the PCB and still actuate our reed switch. It turns out it works perfectly, and even works with the magnet turned the same 90 degrees as well. I set to work measuring the Aqara PCB, which took a little while. It's a complex little shape. Once I'd put a very basic version of the PCB together in Fusion, I designed a new enclosure that was inspired by the AOTech design. The complex shape made this a little bit tricky. If I were designing this PCB to go in a tubular enclosure, I'd probably design it very differently. But with a few prototypes and a lot of tweaking, I landed on this, which I'm quite proud of. There'll be a more detailed tutorial for assembling your very own recessed Aqara T1 over on the Saucepan, my second channel, but in a nutshell, this is how it goes together. The print is in 3 parts: the body, the cap, and the new magnet enclosure. Your shucked T1 sensor goes inside the body, and the cap is fixed in place with an M2 screw. The bind button is still accessible while assembled using a pin or a sim tool, and it's nice and easy to take it back apart to change the battery. The magnet included in your T1 is just pressed into this component for a nice clean fitment to the door frame. To test it, I just replaced my old AOTech sensor with my new rehoused Aqara T1, and it worked flawlessly. Considering the $10 or so it cost me versus the $100 for the AOTech, this was almost seeming too good to be true, but 2 weeks later, it's still going strong. So I set my printer to work printing a bunch more for every door in our home. I ordered a whole pile of Aqara T1s on AliExpress and got to work assembling my new sensors. For the printing, I used my always reliable Prusa Core 1. Prusa has come on board for the next little while to sponsor my workshop and 3D printing projects, and I'm really excited to be working more closely with them. I've used Prusa printers for years. Their approach to repairability and long-term support of their products aligns really closely with my ethos, so it was a really good fit. All the files to print your own sensor housings are available over on Printables for free, or you can buy packs of 5 from my site complete with all the hardware. They're up there for pre-order now. You'll still need to shuck your own Aqara T1s, but the assembly video will show you how to do that too. Installation is dead simple. You just need a 20 or 21mm spade bit and some small wood screws. Start by marking out the center of your door at the top, or if you prefer, on the side. I've included a tool you can use to perfectly center your sensor every time over on Printables, and if you order more than 1 pack of sensor housings from the store, I'll throw one in your order. Then I just transfer that mark over to the door frame for the magnet. I drilled a 35 to 40mm deep hole in the top of my door using a spade bit. Then I drilled a corresponding hole in the door frame at 20mm deep to receive our magnet. Drop your sensor into the door temporarily, mark the fixing screw holes, drill pilot holes for your fixing screws, and screw your sensor permanently into place. Make sure to pair it first though. Your magnet should be a press fit for a 20mm hole. If you used a 21mm bit, you may need to glue it into place. Now you have a completely concealed door sensor. You can do this for any wooden door you'd like. I like to fit mine as far from the hinge side as possible because I find it gets more reliable closed or open readings from my sensors. In just a few hours and for less than $10 per door, I was able to fit my entire house with reliable door sensors. Now I know exactly which doors are open and when, so I can do things like enable or disable air vents when doors are open, or get extremely fast response times from lights when people open a door into a room without one of my ceiling mounted sensors. This would have cost me thousands using the off-the-shelf AOTech units. Now, it's not a perfect solution. They still need batteries replaced on occasion, but I think based on the battery usage so far, this will just be an annual maintenance task for me. Unfortunately, installing wired door sensors in an existing home is just not practical or cost effective, especially when these are only about $10 per door. I really don't know why nobody is already making a nice compact recessed door sensor that works with Zigbee, particularly because Aqara is apparently 90% of the way there anyway. But here we are. If you want to make your own, all of the printable files can be downloaded from Printables. There's a link in the video description. If you don't have a printer or can't be bothered, you can buy the prints in packs of 5 over on our website. There's a link in the description to pre-order. If you have any ideas for what you might use these sensors for, let me know down below. I'm keen to make as much use of these as I can, and there's probably some ideas I've not even thought of. And if you like this video, you'll probably like this one too. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you next time.